June 2nd, 2018, about 9:45 p.m. Three guys came out of nowhere. One with a gun. The others, they screamed and ran. I was there alone. Sounds kind of familiar when you think about Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane. After the soldiers came to arrest him, and Peter cut off one of the servants' ear, Jesus rebuked him and stopped him and healed the man. The disciples ran and left him all alone. Where the money, they screamed. Told him, in my pocket. What I have wasn't much, but what I had was in my pocket. They screamed again, where the money? I repeated the same thing. Then they pushed me down, started assaulting me. Through it all, I'll be honest, I had the peace of God in me. There was not once that I really thought that I wouldn't walk away from the situation, still alive, still breathing. But at that moment in time, while I was being punched in my head, while I was being kicked in my back, two things hit me. The first one was, did I use my talents for God effectively? Did I accomplish what He wanted me to do? What He placed me here on this earth to do for Him? Did I serve Him with all of my heart? The second thing I thought about was, how would my future wife feel if she never heard from me again? What would she think if our last conversation was the last that we ever had? Wow. I thought, what if this really would be my last breath on earth? What if this was my last day? I mean, the money could be replaced. The cell phone stolen could be replaced. The wallets, the purse, the bags, everything could be replaced. But our lives, it couldn't be so easily replaced. And despite the attacks, I truly had peace within my heart. I mean, my friends were inside safe. I was happy for that. Ain't nothing they could do. Worst case scenario, my life for the life of others. For those of you that follow It's Time on a weekly basis, you may have noticed for a few weeks that I disappeared. I didn't say anything like how I ended season 1 and told you that I needed a few weeks to plan for season 2. I'm telling you, depression is a serious thing. Let me be honest with you. I recently lost a family member that was actually shot to death. Coincidence, eh? I lost inspiration to actually continue It's Time. The devil was attacking me in so many areas of my life that I honestly didn't know what to focus on. But after a few weeks I came back. I prayed. I asked God for guidance. And I really felt that He answered my prayers. He gave me inspiration to continue on with my movement. And I told Him that once He gives me breath in my body, I will continue this and reach as much people as I can for His will and His purpose. To be honest, that wasn't my first near-death experience. I've actually had several. I remembered one time when I was leaving COB, now called UB, and I went to the bus stop in front of St. Barnabas. And it was these two guys going around, and they were asking persons for money. And they finally came to me and they was like, hey, we need some money. And I was like, hey, I only have $1 to get home. They was like, we need some money. And I repeated the same thing. Then finally a bus came. And even though the bus was full, I tried to jump on. The bus driver told me to get out of this bus. I said, boss, just drop me down the road. Those two guys up there are trying to rob me. He said, I don't care, I'll get out of my bus. I said, boss, you gonna let me die for $1? I said, just drop me down the road and I'll get out later. He said, get out my bus. Cold world. But I reluctantly got out. and the guys actually walked away. But when they saw me coming out, I told them to pull out knives and started running towards me. I'm telling you, the light was on green and I ran across the road, just ducking and dodging cars, and they was doing the same thing. And then I turned through the first corner and started running through Hospital Lane. I'm telling you, Usain Bolt could not have saw me that day if he wanted to. They never caught me. And I came up by where Malcolm X was. I jumped on a bus headed downtown and then caught another bus home. God has been so good to me that I can't help but give my all to His purpose and His will. Matthew 24:36 says, "But of that day, no man knoweth the day or the hour, not the angels in heaven, but only God Himself." Even though this verse talks about Christ's second coming, it can also be talked about our lives. No man know the day or the hour which will be his last breath, when he will die. So it's either, at the end of it all, did you choose to give your heart to Christ? Or are you still trying to live life or until you reach that good old age? At the end of the day, if this was your last breath, would you make it to heaven? Or would you hear, "I never knew thee"? At the end of the day, are you living for the world and being a hypocrite? Or are you living for Christ and allowing others to see Him through you, through your life, in everything that you do? Psalms 23 verse 4. "Even though I walk through the valley of shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Just like that, your next breath could be your last. Your life could be over. But I'm telling you, it's time to walk into your purpose today, right now.